Dear viewers and listeners, it is always a pleasure interacting with you. I'm hoping that you have always enjoyed the posts that we've done in the past, and even more that you will enjoy the topic that we have at hand. I'm Dr. Duncan Elliott Tembo, and I will be looking at a topic that is titled The Characteristics of the Ego. We did discuss some characteristics of the ego when we were looking at the comfort zone. And in this topic, we will make a continuation of that. You see, I would want to start by saying that the ego fascinates me so much. It has very unique characteristics. And I'm tempted to think that anyone that wants to go far, anyone that wants to be a winner, should tap into the characteristics of the ego. It has been used in many cultures as a symbol of victory, as a symbol of courage, to demonstrate the ability to rise above problems. You will notice that it is on flags, including the Zambian flag. It is there in national anthems. But even in the Bible, the ego has been used a number of times. An interesting scripture says, "Those who await upon the Lord shall have their strength renewed. They shall walk and never become tired. They shall run and never get weary. They will rise up on wings like eagles." I think for me, the last part is very catchy. They will rise up on wings like eagles. As we discuss some of these key characteristics of the ego, I am hoping that each one of us can begin to relate. And I'm hoping that we can pick up important lessons, that can help us be conquerors, that can help us be successful in all the areas that we are pursuing. The first thing that I would want to, bring forward is the fact that the ego has got excellent vision. Excellent vision. Some literature indicates that the ego can see even at a height of 5 to 6 miles. above the ground at that height, it can still see a rat. It can still see the rabbit. It can see the fish in the water. It has excellent vision. And yeah, one thing is, why it has excellent vision is because it focuses. It doesn't allow itself to get distracted. So when it focuses on something, that's what it will be looking at. I'm hoping that, we can also have visions and hold on to that vision and not allow distraction to come in. You see, when we talk about a vision, it is the ability to see what others have not seen. The ability to see further than what others can see. Or the ability to see certain things before others see them. And that's how good your vision should be. You will notice that, most organizations have got visions. There is what they call company vision. And the company is trying to, just bring out how it sees itself. It's looking further than, what others have seen. The space in which it wants to be. That's the vision. So the ego has got excellent vision. Secondly, I want to bring out the second characteristic of, the ego, in particular, how it deals with challenges. Problems are common. But the attitude is what distinguishes, or what makes a difference, if you like. If you look at the ego, there are other birds, that would be chasing after the ego and pecking the ego. But it deals with its enemies in a very decisive way. It chooses not to waste time in fighting back. Even when that crow climbs on the wings of the eagle, it's trying to peck the eagle, as opposed to wasting time to responding to that. The eagle rises to a greater altitude. It rises to an altitude where that crow will not be able to breathe, and it falls off. And you see, if we people can learn from that and can acquire similar attitude to be able to rise to greater altitude, you will notice that most of the problems that we have succumbed to, most of the situations that have pulled us down, will be able to fall off. Unfortunately, when we have a problem, when we have a challenge, I think we waste so much time to try and prove a point, to try and explain why they should not talk about us, to try and complain why it has to be us. But the ego reacts differently, in times of challenges. I mean, let's also look at how it responds to rain. Most of the birds, when it is raining, they would actually go into hiding. They would cover themselves. But the ego is very different. It deals with rain in a very different way in comparison to other birds. For the ego, when it's raining, it chooses to rise above the clouds. So here you are, you have got the clouds, and it is raining, they are releasing that water. Obviously, anything that is below the clouds will get affected with the water. But for the ego, it breaks through the waters, breaks through the clouds, and goes above the clouds where it will not be affected. Very unique character. Very admirable. You see, beyond that, you will also notice that, the ego flies alone. It flies alone, and when it is flying, it does not make noise. I mean, it is so focused on what it is doing. It tries to exclude itself from all those situations that would be pulling it down. And I think that is very important. There are a lot of times when we have failed to realize our goals because we were hanging out with company that is not right. Friends that do not support our goals. Maybe narrow-minded groups. You see, the people that you hang around with will ultimately influence the type of person that you will be. I read from one of the books that says you are an average of 5 people that you hang around with, implying that you have borrowed, some portion from this person, and from the other person. And if by any chance you are hanging out with people that are not motivated, people, that are negative, unfortunately, that may spill over to you. And against that background, you need to choose the type of friends, that will help you realize your goal. And I think you should be comfortable to step out of friendships that are not helping you. That is very important. I did say that the ego flies alone. And usually because, at that space, most of the birds cannot go there. or maybe none of the birds can get there. So if it means that, rising to greater heights, to leave, that company that supports you, I think that is very important. Obviously, this is not to suggest that you do not need people around you. I mean, you need people. But obviously, your interactions should be in such a way that it supports you, it helps you become who you are supposed to become. Don't fail to become who you are supposed to become because of the company that you were keeping. This brings me to another very unique character of the ego. The ability to face the storms. You see, storms can be very unfriendly. And I mean, no one wants to, face storms. And I think the easiest way when there is a storm, is to find a way out. But you see, the ego is very different. The ego usually will not rise in the direction of the wind. It will rise against the wind. Where the storm is coming from, that is where the wind, that's where the ego will be going. It will face the storm head on. And as it strikes itself in that storm, it is pushed up in the sky. And it is able to touch the sky. And it's found itself to be very successful. Because of these very unique characteristics that it bears. I feel that all of us, carry something inside us. We have got a purpose that we need to fulfill. We have got a purpose, that we need to fulfill to the societies, the communities, to our families. We need to be impactful during our time. And I get encouraged to, just go through these topics. And the idea is, to just keep engaging, to keep provoking that somebody, to realize who they are, to realize what they carry inside, to help that somebody, live at the full potential, to help that somebody rise to the level at which they need to be. And I would want to, just continue posing that challenge to everybody who is in the proximity of my voice. So please take time and think about these characteristics that the ego bears. I am convinced that, if we were to learn from these characteristics, if we were to position ourselves in a way, that we begin to exhibit these characteristics, there is no reason why we should not be successful in the areas that we pursue. Hard work is very important. Discipline is very important. Not running away from challenges is very important. Keeping the right company is equally important. Keeping that vision is very key, and many more characteristics. Please keep thinking about that. And my hope is that, you will reflect on this now, but also in the future, and that it will help, release that energy that should help you, pursue your areas of interest. I'd like to thank you for listening, and I encourage you to look at the other videos as well, and also share them with other people, that may need them. Thank you, and God bless you.